Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I will start this video by quoting Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, by his real name, Robert Zimmerman, a Jew from New York. He said he liked Elvis Presley very much. And at one point he said, after Elvis died in August 16th of 1977, he said, I wished, that's what Bob Dylan said, I wish that all Elvis impersonators are dead and Elvis is alive. Well, why did I start with that? I start with that because it seems to me that I have two articles ready for you, and I will make a claim, I will bring evidence to support my claim, that these guys, the bad people who start wars and then they manufacture consent as, what's his name is, Jesus Christ, oh my God, not Howard Zinn, the other, his friend from MIT, Jesus Christ, I can remember his, Noam Chomsky, very hated in Israel, manufacture consent, it was one of his books, said these guys are trying to create heroes that they were criticizing when those heroes were blowing themselves up for a cause that was against these guys' goals. So they create, I have two articles where these bad people, these are bad people, they create heroes out of Ukrainian people, young, sacrificing their lives for someone else's interest. But you don't need to know that. All you need to do, they give you an example. I have two examples where two Ukrainians fought for their country, for their nation, unfortunately in the hands of foreigners with the help of foreigners in charge. And they sacrificed their lives, young people. And these guys are elevating them as heroic actions, which they are, but they're misguided. It's like for some people who had questions about certain wars. Did we really fight the right war, the just war, or we were just used by our other interests to die and get blown up and shot at for their interest? But we are told, yes, we brought democracy and freedom in the Middle East. I have no intention of shitting on anybody good head. I am intending of taking shit on the bad people. So, unfortunately, we have a lot of veterans from the Middle East war, Iraq war, and so on, some of them are very proud that, we brought democracy over there, we toppled Saddam Hussein, a bad guy. But the other side of the coin is, for whom really? Who got you there? You sacrificed your children to go over there and fight, your life, your health, and you still think, because these guys gave you some medals, where we fought for the good cause in the Middle East. Some people might think that's not the case, but nevertheless, they keep pushing that. So next time when these guys are determining that it's a war needed in Yemen, for instance, or in Ukraine, you will say, hey, I'm going to be a hero for the right cause, because you're an idealist, you're a patriot, you're a nationalist, you love what's good, what's right. The problem is, sometimes what's right and what's good is a lie coming from those guys. So let me show you here two articles created by the bad people, creating this kind of heroes. I'm so upset about it. Business Insider. A defiant Ukrainian soldier called in an artillery strike on his own position in a moment of self-sacrifice and survived. This is not a young person if this is a guy, all right, but this is just in Bakhmut. I'm just wanted to show you that this is Business Insider will write about you, my dear Ukrainians, if you sacrifice your life for the big guys in charge of the United States of America and hoping to be in charge of this planet using you and your love for your country. by pointing out the Russians want to kill you and your families, when actually it's their own interest at play, their power. They don't care about you. They do not. So this is one. And the other one is this. CNN. This one is from today, December 3rd, 2023. This one is from December 2nd, 2023, yesterday. It's like a button was pushed by these bad people, evil people. And I'm quoting, a hero every day. You could be next. That's the message. He joined Ukraine's Maidan protests in the name of what? Victoria Nuland and her bunch. At 16, a guy who really loved his country, he thought he's doing the right thing. This guy right here thought he's doing the right thing, joined the Maidan for the same interests that right now are destroying his nation, the Ukrainian nation, not Zelensky's nation, your nation. And he went over there in protest. He's dead. Let me show you. At 16, at 24, he died fighting Russia. No, he died fighting for those guys without even knowing it. This war was not supposed to happen. They pushed it. That's my belief in this. That's my assessment of this. They could have stopped it in December, November, October 2021. But they didn't want to stop it. So again, another hero. Imagine that you're a father and you think, oh, my son died at 24 to fight for, those globalist interests out there. Let's say he has this crazy thought. How would you feel? But they create this article and they create this article to create heroes who would sacrifice their lives for someone else's ugly motherfucking interests. He survived. This one did not survive. Right here, this guy. So I'm not going to read. I'm going to show a picture right here on Maidan. Does he know that the 2014 coup in his country, democracy was demolished? He didn't know at that time. He did not know. And he fought for the same Zelensky Stein that took care of his Victoria Nuland 2014. He doesn't know. He died thinking that he fights for his nation. Good for him. What would you say? I think that he was used by those guys. That's what I think. So these guys showed up at that Maidan, organized and blah, 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 helped by Then whatever happened, and now he fights the Russians because the same guys told him that the Russians want to destroy his nation. That's how they created. And now, when the situation is shitty over there in Ukraine, those guys do not have people to die for the same interest. They try to create the Kamikaze effect of the Japanese. Bonsai! Bonsai! We're gonna die for our country. That's the last resort. So what could be next? Putin using nuclear weapons as the Americans used because these guys are gonna be killing themselves? Is that what these guys want? I don't put that past that thought. No rock. I don't put it past that. But a young man, and they portrayed him as a hero. And then you have this. Right there. Would you rather have this or be alive? Remember Bob Dylan, Robert Zimmerman, Zelensky Stein? I'd rather have this guy alive than being a hero as he is for those interests. I personally, as a father, I'm a father, and I definitely I would like my child to survive and be alive. Right there, you want to assist and go and participate in your son's heroic burial because of those interests? I fucking don't. I wouldn't want that. And these guys, do you think that they know that they're going to look at him as a hero, and the state, the government would make sure this guy's a hero? Remember, I will tell you another hero, and that was in a situation, very precarious situation. But again, he died under the circumstances dictated by those guys. Remember that guy with his cigarette over there, hunched back a little bit, maybe a year ago, when he was caught by the Russians, and he said those Russians were saying something. They were at the gunpoint. Why? Because immediately when he said Slava Ukraini, pak, he got shot in the head. So that means they were looking at him. But he, in facing death, what did he say? When the guy said something about him, he said, Slava Ukraini. And he was shot and killed like a dog. Like a dog. It was a war crime. The guy was a hero. Now, I don't know how much and if he had any methamphetamine inside of him. I hope he didn't. But that was an heroic act. Unnecessary. Necessary. He died for the big guys that count their money and their stocks and their global power and dominance. That's why he died. He died thinking that he defends his country, his people, his norod, right? His nation, his people. How many of these guys died in the Second World War thinking that they fight the bad guys? And so on. Vietnam is another example. Saddam Hussein and his guys, another example. Gaddafi, another example. As bad as they were they tried? We just went over there and destroyed the country at someone else's orders. Telling you that you do this for the whole planet to defend our freedom, our way of life. That was a lie. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It saddens me a lot when I see this kind of garbage promoted. And we're going to see more and more of this kind of heroes promoted by these garbage people to have more and more and more heroes. They're going to become kamikaze? It seems like. So then the bad dude should do what the Americans did. Shorten the war. Defend his boys. Save his boys' lives. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.